grab your big book, your pen, your highlighter, and notepad and get ready to hear and apply some of the solution from the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous through the experience, strength, and hope of Nikki M. To have a question addressed in a future episode of Noodle It Out with Nikki, please send an email to noodlewithnikki@gmail.com, and Nikki is spelled with 2 Ks. To get a more interactive experience with Nikki as she noodles out life and recovery questions using the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous, you can get a link to her weekly Noodle It Out with Nikki meeting held live on Zoom every Monday morning at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. The information to that meeting is in the show notes of this podcast. God morning, God afternoon, God evening to all. My name is Justin B., and I am a son of an all-powerful and perfectly loving God and a qualifying addict in multiple fellowships, living in the miracle of one day at a time recovery. And I'm here with the intelligent agent, spearhead of God's ever-advancing creation, and my co-host, Nikki M. Nikki, come say hi.
Hi, everybody. I'm Nikki M., and I'm really grateful to be at this table. And my consciousness has been woken up from our last episode where Justin said it was the annual renewal for our, to keep up our behind the scenes memberships on the podcast and the renewals of. So I never asked for money, but we're going to ask for some resources. Everybody, if you're listening, please. I just want to share my experience, strength, and hope real quick here. You know how you have to make monthly payments. I'm not that kind of girl. I'll just pay one time so I don't have to think about it again for the year. So if you just want to pay your 10 cents for the year, or you want to pay your $10 zillion for the year, we will take it. These resources are not only helping me and Justin, but I know they're going to help the future for years to come. Let's keep this place alive. Thank you, Justin.
And thank you, Nikki. $10 zillion. If you got $10 zillion laying around, chip us off a little bit. If not, chip us off a dime. We're happy to receive whatever it is, and we will put it to good use. Thank you, Nikki, for reminding us of that. Here we are in the Noodle It Out with Nikki podcast, where Nikki and I take questions that we come across in our work with others, whether that be on the Noodle meeting, whether it be in the Noodle chat on WhatsApp group, whether it be in phone calls and interactions we have with fellows in other places that we talk with. And we bring these questions and these concerns to the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous as Nikki noodles our way through the Big Book to dive deep and learn where the solutions can be found on each of these problems. Nikki, the thing I'm bringing to you today is a phone call that I had just this morning with a fellow who, well, he's dying, and I'm just going to basically read what he shared with me, and then let's noodle our way through it. I am an ultra marathoner. I feel that unless I am running at least 4 or 5 hours at a time, that it is a waste of my time. I feel that I need this as an outlet of stress in my life. My spouse is upset that I spend so much time with running, and our relationship is suffering. And I am still acting out, using, drinking, whatever it may be, and I can't stop. Help. What does the book say, Nikki?
The book says a lot, friend out there listening. The book says this, and I'm going to rephrase this how he said it, because I feel like if I'm not running, right, it's a waste. Well, I'm going to say this. You, sir, feel like if you're not blotting out the consciousness of your existence, it's a waste of a life. You know, I was listening because you've repeated the question we talked about earlier. Now we're repeating it again. And it's like, that's really what this person see. Let me reintroduce myself. Hi, I'm Nikki M. I'm a soul surgeon. Now, where'd you get your degree, Nikki? It's called life experience. It's called a PhD from the School of Hard Knocks. Anyone can be a soul surgeon. Just work your 12 steps and it will set you free. So page 25. See, I'm good at diagnosing people because the book is a medical book. It's a treasure map. It's everything. It tells you what's wrong with you. So basically, friend, you feel like you're not living if you are not blotting out the consciousness of your intolerable situation, says page 25. See, you are seriously addicted. Let's just go there. You're addicted to what? To running, to alcohol, to drugs and to a plethora of other things that I don't even know about, but I know you have them because I'm going to run deep here, sir. You're me. I'm you. I know people who go to the gym and that's all they do. Oh, but they have a family, but you're addicted to the gym. You're addicted to your workaholism. You're addicted to your scrolling and your likes. I mean, we are a society of distractions from the great reality. See, it's very painful to live in here. Page 59. May you find God now. No one wants to live in the present moment, but we're on page 25, which says there's no middle of the road solution. See, you want help. And you're in a position, sir, madam, where life is becoming impossible. My line says, yes. My life is becoming impossible because unlike you, sir, I wasn't running marathons. Actually, I don't even like to run. Okay, I'm real lazy, but go deeper. I like to work and I like to avoid my entire family. I'll work 18-hour days, Justin. You understand? Like, there's no difference. Like, what's the difference? Life is becoming impossible. I'm literally, and this is where he's living. Oh, this is cool. The book's so rad. We're on page 25. Let's invert those numbers to page 52 and look at how you're living. Life is becoming impossible because you're having trouble with your personal relationships. You just said your wife is mad, and I'm sure she's really mad. If I had a husband that ran his life away, Forrest Gump, and drank his life away, and I know what goes on with those things, Justin. If we dove deeper with our friend, he might even be a sex and love addict too. Food addict that goes deep. You can't control your emotional natures. You're prey to misery and depression, self-obsession. You can't make a living. Justin and I can make a lot of money, but we're not making a living in our addiction. We're having a feeling of uselessness. We're full of fear and we're unhappy and can't be of real help to anyone, including ourselves. So, page 52 brings us back to page 25. Life is impossible. And now, Mr. Runner, Mr. Blotting out the consciousness of your intolerable situation, you've passed into a region. See, now you're in a region. And I love that. Like, we're really breaking this down this morning. I'm just thinking about that region and it popped into my head, Justin, because I've got my eyes closed. Like, it's that darkness. It's that place, and you know it because you're a very good man of faith, where you're on the hill, tempted in the darkness for 40 days and 40 nights. And where do you go and what do you do? You're in that region, and there is no return through human aid. So let's go deep. You're running shoes. Your wife, your children, your money, your car, your job, your knowledge, your intelligence is not going to help you. You are beyond human aid. Yes, your rehab will separate you from the sex, the food, the alcohol, but it's not a permanent solution. Yes, the big book will give you the instructions on how to live, but it's not going to be there when you black out in anger. So you have two alternatives right now. You can go to the bitter end, blotting out the consciousness of your intolerable situation. And how do you like to blot out your consciousness? Through running. But I'm just a runner, Nikki. I'm just a marathon runner, Nikki. But you've avoided your wife, your children. You miss all events. I know runners. They're obsessed with this. If you're a real runner, you got to go to the marathon in Ireland. So now the family can't have a trip because we're too busy. You see, Justin, where it affects everyone. Or, my friend, you can accept spiritual help. Like, you have two choices. Help. You have two choices. The destruction of self, says page 14. The destruction of self. And I want you to come in after I read this because I know you know this decision, Justin, because you're not the runner. You were doing other things, sir. But your wife was coming last, your children, all the same things. And you were at the point where help. Now I'm going to read this and you're going to talk about it and tell me, because this is what he's saying to us. Page 44, Justin. This is what our friend said to you, I'm sure, on the phone today. He's saying, Justin, to be doomed to an alcoholic death or to live on a spiritual basis are not easy alternatives to face. My line out says they look exactly the same because they both require a lot of work, energy, and dedication. Justin, thoughts?
Man, this is so good, and I'm going to share where I took him in this in the conversation I had with him. It was not where you took us, but man, this is powerful. I love getting different perspectives and where God takes these conversations. So what I initially said is I said, you probably think you're pretty disciplined in that you can get up and run 100 miles for a race and run 4 to 5 hours at a time. And what's funny and what I did not expect, he said, I am not disciplined. I I use this to escape, and he was honest in that. It's to blot out the consciousness of his misery of his life that he's got there. But where I took him was page 88. We alcoholics, we addicts are undisciplined, so we let God discipline us in this simple way. And then I said, and then we talked about selfishness, self-centeredness that's there on page 62. Selfishness, self-centeredness, that we think is the root of all our problems. The root of my problem, in his case, is not, oh, I need to stay in shape. I need to better myself fit myself to be of better service to God and those around me. That's not what it was. It was an outlet. It was an escape. And he admitted that. So as we talked about it, some of the thoughts that came about were, well, what's a solution to this? Well, God is the solution. Getting out of selfishness, self-centeredness is a solution. Letting God discipline me. But it's also, hey, it's good to be in at least good enough physical condition so that God can use me and so that I can be of maximum service to him and to others. But if I'm blotting out the consciousness of my, what is it? Nikki, what's the verbiage there again? Blotting out the
intolerable situation.
Yes. If I'm just doing it to do that, and I'm yet still finding myself at 3 o'clock in the morning using, drinking, acting out, whatever that may be, man, it's not blotting that out. It's just masking something that is way deeper, and I've got to find the solution. There is a solution, and that solution is connection with higher power, connection with others. And that's kind of what I shared with him. Nikki, what other thoughts do you have on this?
Well, that's great where you took him too, because, and I love let's just go on this thought real quick. And then I want to go to his wife because God, I want to talk about our families. But I know, like, I'm disciplined, Justin. Like, I'm disciplined. If you came to my home, you could most likely eat off my floors. I'm very type A. I've always, like, if I pay my bill, let's say my electric bill's, $151.36, I'll pay $152 because I know it's a repeated bill, rounded up. I'm very type A in that way. But I'm very undisciplined about my emotions. I'm very undisciplined with my words. I'm very undisciplined with my actions in my addiction because I'll just fall on someone's husband and not realize what the hell I'm doing. You understand? So we can be disciplined. He can get up and run, but he's so undisciplined. Let's go deeper. He's a sloth in other areas of his life. It's the 7 deadly sins. He's a sloth. But I want to take us here real quick to the wives, but not to the chapter, page 19, Justin. See, because she said, my wife is mad at me. And then I say our wife, because somehow I've melded into you. Like, it's my grandchild, my wife, I'm my Rico 12. Like, no, Justin has his own whole world, but I like to take people hostage. Here it is. I think of your wife too, Justin, in your disease, not now, because I know she works a program. And I know you guys are a recovery home and living for God. But for those wives out there that just don't know what's going on, or the husbands out there that don't know what's going on, members of a 12-step program, page 19, a much more important demonstration of our principles lies before us in our respective homes. And I want to cry because for years I've put this fellowship first, and many, many times I put it before my my love, Mr. Luxembourg, and it's caused long-term damage. It says right there, you're home first. I would sometimes put sponsies before my own son. You know, I know at the end of the day, it's all going to come out in the wash and it's going to be okay because my past is my greatest asset. But if I could go back, like new moms out there, your job isn't as important as being a new mom. You know, in America, my sister got 6 weeks maternity leave being a teacher in California. Canada, we get 1 full year to make sure that baby can hold its head up. And I know some of us have to go to work, and I know the world is a mess and we do not indulge in it. But everybody, remember your priorities, please. And it says it in our book. A much more important demonstration of our principles lies before us in our respective home. Number 1, home. Number 2, occupation. You must be fully self-supporting. You must be. If you are a family, you must support your family. And number 3, there's the newcomer. There's the running. There's the affairs. There's the running. There's the obsession with your cleanliness of your house, Nikki, after you're home. You know, I'd be so busy. I got to clean the kitchen that I would not read my son a bedtime story. The dishes can wait. The dishes can wait because now he's 20 and he washes the dishes.
Oh, this is beautiful. And I don't have a whole lot more to add to this in this closing out. I just want to share my experience, strength, and hope with you out there in the listening audience, with this person who gave me a call, and the people, you are me, I am you, we are each other, that when I keep those priorities straight, God, home, occupation, affairs, as I keep those straight, like I mentioned in this last time, the path is traversable. It's not a smooth walking through the roses all the time, but it is traversable. I can make it with God's help. But if I get those out of whack, the path becomes unpassable. And I don't even know what else to say other than, guys, it works. It works when I work it, and it works when you work it. So work it. You are worth it.